Now, my dear students, here now we will solve the one more problem. Almost all after completion of this problem, we will solve the all types of or models of problems with the help of axisymmetric element. Okay, I will read the problem. Listen carefully. A long hollow cylinder of inside diameter 100 mm and outside diameter 120 mm is firmly fitted in a hole of another rigid cylinder over its full length. The cylinder is then subjected to an internal pressure of 2 megapascal. By using two elements on the 10 mm length shown, find the displacement at the inner radius. Take E is equal to 210 gigapascals and Poisson's ratio mu is equal to 0.25. Do you understand, my dear students, this one? ఏం లేదయ్యా, ఒక సిలిండర్ లోపల ఒక లాంగ్ హాలో సిలిండర్ లోపల ఈ సిలిండర్ ఉందంట. ఇది ఫిట్ అయి ఉంది, అందుకని ఇక్కడ ఫిక్స్డ్ బౌండరీ లాగా ఇచ్చేసేది అనమాట. అర్థమైందా? సిలిండర్ లోపలేమో 2 మెగాపాస్కల్ ఉంది. ఇన్సైడ్ డయామీటర్ 100 అన్నాడు, అవుట్ సైడ్ డయామీటర్ 120 mm అన్నాడు. ఓకేనా? అయితే దీన్ని నువ్వు ఒక చిన్న ఎలిమెంట్ గా తీసుకుని ఎలా ఉందో స్ట్రెసెస్ అనాలిసిస్ చేయి, ఆ ఎలిమెంట్ లెంత్ 10 mm ఉండేటట్టు తీసుకో అని అన్నాడు. సపోజ్ ఇదిగో ఇది ఈ రేడియస్ కూడా ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యటువంటి థిక్నెస్ కూడా 10 mm కాబట్టి నేను అదే థిక్నెస్ అది ఒక హైట్ ఉన్నటువంటి 10 mm హైట్ ఉన్నట్టుగా ఒక 2 ఎలిమెంట్స్ తీసుకున్నాం. అంటే ఒక రెక్టాంగిల్ తీసుకుని దాన్ని ఏం చేసామనంటే మళ్ళీ ఒక స్క్వేర్ తీసుకుని రెండు ట్రయాంగులర్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ గా డివైడ్ చేసాం అనమాట, 1 and 2 కింద. ఓకే ఓకే ఇప్పుడు ఇంటర్నల్ ప్రెషర్ ఫోర్సెస్ అనేవి ఇక్కడ యాక్ట్ అవుతా ఉన్నాయి. దీన్ని మనం కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి అవుట్ సైడ్ ఇది ఫిక్స్డ్ లాగా ఉంటుంది, యాక్చువల్ గా డిఫార్మేషన్స్ జరగవచ్చు. ఇక్కడ మాత్రం ఫిక్స్డ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఎందుకని? ఈ సిలిండర్ ఇంకో సిలిండర్ లో ఫిట్ అయి ఉంది కాబట్టి ఇది ఫిక్స్డ్ కింద ట్రీట్ చేస్తున్నాం అనమాట. ఓకేనా? సో ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ మనం కోఆర్డినేట్స్ రాసుకుని దీనికి మనం ఫోర్సెస్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్, డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్స్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి అని అంటే స్టిఫ్నెస్ మ్యాట్రిక్స్ రిలేషన్ ఉపయోగించాలి. 2 ఎలిమెంట్స్, ఒక్కొక్క స్టిఫ్నెస్ మ్యాట్రిక్స్ సైజు 6x6, మొత్తం 4 నోడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. 8x8 స్టిఫ్నెస్ మ్యాట్రిక్స్ వస్తుంది. 8 కోఆర్డినేట్స్ ఉంటాయి, దాని 8 డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి. దాన్ని ఉపయోగించి మనం ఫైనల్ గా డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్స్ అనేవి ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలన్నమాట. సో ఆ డయాగ్రామ్ నే మళ్ళీ రీకన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ. నౌ అబ్జర్వ్ హియర్. I select this is the first element, this one is the second element. Our nodal points are 1, 2, 3, 4. I given one sequence 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the first node point is the, here I am considering our axis is from this particular point onwards. This is the R, this one is the Z axis. Okay, so from this particular point to its height is suppose first x axis. Here from this particular point to here, this one is 50. Y axis height is 10 mm. So 50, 10 first quadrant points, node quadrant point. Second node quadrants are the R2 Z2, that is the x axis distance is 50, but this one is lies on the same R axis, that's why 50, 0. Next third node point is there. Third node point is here up to this particular one is 50 and this 10, 60, 60, 0 quadrants. Fourth nodal point quadrants are the R4, Z4, that is here x axis is 60 and height is 10 mm, 60, 10. And displacements u1, w1, u2, w2, u3, w3, u4, w4. Now we have to find these displacements. Okay, now actually based on the given information and the quadrants we identified, and we have to calculate the forces also, and later we will find the displacement. So first of all consider element 1. Element 1, its quadrants are the, that is element 1 nodal points are 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4 are the nodal points for the first element. Respective quadrants are the R1 50, Z1 10, R2 50, Z2 0, R4 50, Z4 0. We know that stiffness K1 is equal to 2 pi r A into B transpose D into B. That is the area of the element A is equal to half into determinant of 1 R1 Z1, 1 R2 Z2, 1 R4 Z4. Substitute the quadrants. Half, 1, 50, 10, 150, 0, 160, 10. Now, after expansion, half into this 50 into 10, 500 minus 0. Next, minus 50. This is the minus 50. Next, 1 into 10, 10, 1 into 0, 0, that is 10 minus 0. Next, this 10, eliminate row column. Next, 1 into 60, 60 minus 1 into 50, 50. So our area is the 50 mm square. Okay, now we calculate the remaining values, also constant values in the strain displacement matrix, that is alpha 1. We know that alpha 1 is equal to R2 Z4 minus R4 Z2. That is substitute that values. 50 into 10 minus 60 into 0, that is 500. Alpha 2 is equal to R4 Z1 minus R1 Z4. 60 into 10 minus 50 into 10, that is equal to 100. Next, alpha 3 is equal to R1 Z2 minus R2 Z1. 50 into 10 minus 50 into 0 minus 50 into 10, that is minus 500. Now we calculate the beta 1. Beta 1 is equal to Z2 minus Z4, that is a 0 minus 10, that is the minus 10. Beta 2 is equal to Z4 minus Z1. The quadrants are the Z4 10 minus 10, that is 0. Beta 3 is Z1 minus Z2. 10 minus 0, 10. Gamma 1 is equal to R4 minus R2, that is 60 minus 50, 10. Gamma 2 is equal to R1 minus R4. 50 minus 60, that is the minus 10. Gamma 3 is equal to R2 minus R1, that is 50 minus 50, that is equal to 0. Next, calculate the R. R is equal to, we know that R1 plus R2 plus R4 by 3. That is 50 plus 50 plus 60 by 3. 160 by 3, that is 53.33. Z is equal to Z1 plus Z2 plus Z4 by 3, that is 10 plus 0 plus 10 by 3, that is 20 by 3, that is 6.66. Now you calculate the few more constants, that are alpha 1 plus beta 1 R plus gamma 1 Z by R, that is 1 by R is the 3 by 160 into 500 minus beta 1 is the 10 into R is the 160 by 3 plus 10 into Z is the 20 by 3. Its value is 0.625. Next one is the alpha 2. Alpha 2 plus beta 2 R plus gamma 2 Z by R. This constant is R is the 3 by 160 into alpha 2 is 100 plus beta 2 is 0. Enter value is 0. Next, gamma 2 is minus 10 into 20 by 3. Its value is also 0.625. Next, alpha 3 plus beta 3R plus gamma 3Z by R. 3 by 160 in minus 500 plus 10 into 160 plus gamma 3 is the 0. So total value, once again we got the 0.625. Now write down, we know that strain displacement matrix B is equal to 1 by 2A, beta 1 0, beta 2 0, beta 3 0. Alpha 1 plus beta 1 R plus gamma 1 Z by R plus 0, alpha 2 plus beta 2 R plus gamma 2 Z by R 0, alpha 3 plus beta 3 R plus gamma 3 Z by R 0, 0 gamma 1, 0 gamma 2, 0 gamma 3. Next row, gamma 1 beta 1 gamma 2 beta 2 gamma 3 beta 3. Substitute all these values. Now we got that a strain displacement matrix as 1 by 100 into minus 10 0 0 0 10 0 0.625 0 0.625 0 0.625 0. Next 0 10 0 minus 10 0 0 10 minus 10 minus 10 0 0 10. Now here you calculate the stress strain matrix. Stress strain matrix is the D. It is the property of the matrix. The D is equal to, already we derived that relation as per the plane stress condition, that is a E by 1 plus mu into 1 minus 2 mu into 1 minus mu 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 0 mu 1 minus mu mu 0 mu mu 1 minus mu 0 0 0 0 1 minus 2 mu by 2. E is equal to 2.15 into 10 to the power of 5 divided by 1 plus mu is the 0.25 into 1 minus 2 into mu, that is 0.5, that is 1 minus 0.25 mu 0.25 mu 0.25 0 mu 0.25 1 minus mu 0.25 0.5 0 0.5 0.5 1 minus 0.25 0 0 0 1 minus 2 mu 1 minus 2 into 0.5 0.25 0.5 by 2. Now once again we will get this matrix as the I taken the 0.5 term common. I got this matrix as 84 into 10 to the power of 3 3110 1310 1130 001. Okay, this is the stress strain matrix. Now you calculate the stiffness matrix K1. K1 is equal to 2 pi r A B transpose D into B. So 2 pi r is the 160 by 3 into here area A is equal to 50 into B transpose I wrote as it is D is equal to this matrix into B is equal to earlier I wrote this particular one. I read that but same thing here also. Now here after writing that particular one, uh, after multiplication of all these particular values, I got 1.7 into 10 to the power of 7. Now I wrote the B transpose. B transpose is equal to 1 by 100 into 1 by 100 into transpose of B minus 10.625 0 10 0 0 10 minus 10 0.625 0 minus 10 0 0 minus 10 0 10.625 0 0 0 0 0 10 and multiplication of these two matrices as minus 29.3 10.625 minus 10 30.60 and so on. I got this particular matrix. Now if I multiply these two matrices also, these two matrices and this 1.4 constant also, final matrix stiffness matrix K1 is equal to I got 10 to the power of 5 into 544.1 minus 271.3 minus 147.1 131.3 minus 418.4 140 minus 271.3 560 148.8 and so on. I got this particular matrix. Okay, here for understanding purpose I wrote its coordinate values for the first element u1 w1 u2 w2 u4 w4. This information is useful for formation of the global stiffness matrix. Okay, similarly consider the second element also. Second element, if you observe the second element, here I will show that particular one. Second element nodal points are the 2 3 4. If you observe that particular diagram, that second element nodal points are the, just observe here, 2 3 4. Now by using these three nodal points, now we have to calculate the stiffness matrix for this element. Okay, now we will calculate the stiffness matrix for this element. That is for the second element, here R2 is equal to 50, Z2 is equal to 0, R3 is equal to 60, Z3 is equal to 0, R4 is equal to 60, Z4 is equal to 10. First, now I am calculating the area of the second triangular element A2 is equal to half into 1 R2 Z2, 1 R3 Z3, 1 R4 Z4. Now A2, substitute that values. Here if you substitute these values, now I will get here half into 1 into ఇక్కడ గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్న ఆయన మ్యాట్రిక్స్ డిటర్మినెంట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయడం ఈ 1 ని ఈ రో కాలం వదిలేసి ఈ క్రాస్ మల్టిప్లికేషన్ చేసుకోవాలి. 60 into 10 minus 60 into 0 వేస్తే ఇది 0 అయిపోయింది. 600 minus 0. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ దానికి మైనస్ వస్తుంది. మైనస్ 50 ఇంటూ ఈ రో ఈ కాలం తీసేస్తే 1 into 10 10 మైనస్ ఇది వేసుకోవాలి 0. ఇక్కడ 0 ఉంది కాబట్టి దేంతో మల్టిప్లై చేసినా అదే 0 అవుతుంది కాబట్టి 0 రాసేసాను. టోటల్ గా ఏరియా 50 mm² వచ్చింది. నెక్స్ట్ ఆల్ఫా 2 actually first we derived that alpha 1 relation R2 Z3 minus Z2 R3 like that. In the same manner here also we have to write with respect to the nodal points. Don't confuse the thing. Here based on the nodal points I wrote that relation R3 Z4 minus Z3 R4, that is 60 into 10 minus 60 into 0, that is the 600. Next, alpha 2 is equal to, that is R2 R4 Z2 minus R2 Z4, that is a minus, that is a 0 into 60 minus 50 into 10, that is minus 500. Alpha 3 is equal to R2 Z3 minus Z2 R3. 50 into 0 minus 60 into 0, that is 0. Beta 1 is equal to Z3 minus Z4. 0 minus 10 minus 10. Beta 2 is equal to Z4 minus Z2. 10 minus 0, 10. Beta 3 is equal to Z2 minus Z3. 0 minus 0, 0. Gamma 1 is equal to R4 minus R3. 60 minus 60, that is equal to 0. Gamma 2 is equal to R2 minus R4. 50 minus 60, that is a minus 10. Okay. Gamma 3, that is a R3 minus R2, that is 60 minus 50, that is the 10. Next, R is equal to R2 plus R3 plus R4 by 3, that is 50 plus 60 plus 60 by 3, 170 by 3. Z is equal to Z2 plus Z3 plus Z4 by 3, 0 plus 0 plus 10 by 3, that is a 10 by 3. Now you calculate a few more constants. Alpha 1 plus beta 1 r plus gamma 1 z by r, that is substitute alpha 1 as the 600 plus minus beta 1 is the minus 10, r is the 170 by 3 plus 0 into 10 by 3 divided by 170 by 3, its value is 0.59. Alpha 2 plus beta 2r plus gamma 2z by r, that is minus 500 plus 10 into 170 by 3 minus 10 into 10 by 3 divided by 170 by 3, that is equal to 0.59. Alpha 3 plus beta 3r plus gamma 3z by r, 0 plus 0 plus 10 into 10 by 3 by 170 by 3, that is equal to 0.59. Okay, now substitute all these values. Substitute all these values. Stress strain displacement matrix for the second element. If you substitute all these values in the stress strain displacement matrix, that is beta 2 is B2 is equal to 1 by 2a, beta 1 0, beta 2 0, beta 3 0, alpha 1 plus beta 1 r plus gamma 1 z by r 0, alpha 2 plus beta 2 r plus gamma 2 z by r 0, alpha 3 plus beta 3 r plus gamma 3 z by r 0, 0 gamma 1 0 gamma 2 0 gamma 3, gamma 1 beta 1 gamma 2 beta 2 gamma 3 beta 3. Substitute all these values. You substitute all these values, 1 by 100 into minus 10 0 10 0 0 0, 0.590, 0.590, 0.590, 0 0 0, minus 10 0 10, 0 minus 10 minus 10 10 10 0. This is the second element strain displacement matrix. Strain displacement matrix. Now you calculate the stiffness matrix. Now there is no need to calculate the stress strain relationship matrix or constitutive matrix D. Why? Because it is the property of the element. So entire element having the same type of property, there is no change of property. That's why once again I did not calculate the constitutive matrix. Already I will take the same constitutive matrix here also. So now after obtaining the stress strain strain displacement matrix, now you calculate the K2. K2 is equal to 2 pi r A2 into B2 transpose into D into B2. Substitute these matrix values. 2 pi r is the 170 by 3, area is the 50, B2 transpose I wrote as it is, later I will take, D is the 84 into 10 to the power of 3 into this matrix into B2 I wrote as it is. So I cancel like this terms and remaining is the 1.5 into 10 to the power of 7 by 100. This 100 is the B2 transpose 100 into B2 transpose I wrote here, and multiplication of these two matrices 3110 and minus 10 0 10 0 0 0, the multiplication of these two matrices I got this one. Okay, now after multiplication of once again these two matrices, finally I got K2 is equal to 10 to the power of 5 into 433.80 minus 448.5, 141.2 minus 7.4 minus 141.2 0, 150, 150, minus 150, minus 150, 0, 448.5, 150, 619.2, minus 308.5, minus 139.7, 158.9, and so on. I got this particular matrix. Okay, now we have to write the force equation. That is, while you are writing the force equation, you know that basic equation, K into delta is equal to F. K into delta is equal to F. Now we have to write K is the global stiffness matrix. Global stiffness matrix is nothing but a combination of first element and second element. I think you know very well, to add the first element and second element to global stiffness matrices. That is, the first element, we have the coordinate points as u1 w1, u2 w2, u4 w4, and the second element coordinate nodal displacement points are the u2 w2, u3 w3, u4 w4. If we add these two matrices one sequence, later we will substitute the delta and f values also. Now I am explaining the how to find the forces. Actually, here internal pressure is acting. Internal pressure, total cylinder is acting, and total length of the element is also acting. That pressure is acting circumferentially. Circumferentially, where that pressure is acting inside of the cylinder. That's why that is where that pressure is acting at node 1 and node 2. At remaining nodes, there is no pressure value. At inside of the nodes only, we have to consider that pressure. That's why we have to write that relation circumferential. That is, a force is nothing but a pressure into area. Pressure into area is nothing but a circumferentially this pressure is acting. That's why circumference into length of the element. Circumference, what is the circumference? 2 pi r into length of the element by 2. This 2 pi r is the inside radius. Inside radius. Okay, 2 pi into inside radius is 50 mm into length of the element, total length of the element that pressure is acting, that is 10 mm, and into pressure 2 megapascals divided by 2 is there. Now I got that particular 2. Why I taken 2 means, whatever the force inside force is acting, that force is distributed at half of the force is distributed at node 1 and half of the force is distributed at node 2. That's why I taken this divided by 2. Okay, so that's why now we got that value as 3141.6 Newton. I think you know the nodal force vector. Nodal force vector F is equal to F1R, F1Z, F2R, F2Z, F3R, F3Z, F4R, F4Z. If you observe in this equation, we know that F1R and F2R, F1Z, F2Z, F3Z, F4Z are the 0. Why? Because actually here there is no support at this particular point. Simply we can take that particular one as the 0 only in Z direction, and that too it is having a two lengthy cylinder. So that's why I did not consider that particular force values. Simply I consider that forces are 0, but F3R and F4R, it is fitted in the another cylinder. There is a possibility certain reaction forces. That's why you may consider that F3R and F4R. Okay, in the same manner, while we are discussing about the displacement vector, delta is equal to, what is the delta? Delta is equal to u1 w1, u2 w2, u3 w3, u4 w4 is there. Okay, u4 w4 is there. If you observe this particular case, here w1 w2 w3 w4 are on 0. Why? Because here axial direction strain value is 0. It is a too lengthy cylinder, so there is no need to consider that in that lengthy cylinder we will not consider the axial displacement values. So here that displacement values are negligible. So simply I consider W1 is equal to W2 is equal to W3, W4 is equal to 0, and not only that, and I will consider U3 and U4 also equal to 0. Why? Because at node 3 and node 4, if you observe the basic diagram, this cylinder is fitted into the another cylinder. Fitting means that is a fixed boundary is there. It is not allowing the deformation at that particular nodal point. So automatically U3 and U4 also 0. Now actually I did not write all these things here. Later I have to write, but first of all I am giving this information. Now first here you have to find the global stiffness matrix. Now here directly I write that equation K into delta is equal to F. Whenever while you are adding that global or while you are forming the global stiffness matrix, you have to form that global stiffness matrix in sequence. Irregularly, don't write the global stiffness matrix. Just observe here: U1 W1, U2 W2, U3 W3, U4 W4. Like that, I consider that particular displacement, that is a stiffness matrix. Whenever I am forming that global stiffness matrix, I got this big size matrix, 8 by 8 global stiffness matrix into delta U1 W1, U2 W2, U3 W3, U4 W4, and F1R, F1Z, F2R, F2Z, F3R, F3Z, F4R, F4Z. Now, after writing this equation, then you apply the boundary condition. That is boundary condition. Earlier we discussed that boundary condition. Now substitute that boundary condition. If you substitute that boundary condition, now we will get this equation. That is a W1 is 0, W2 is 0, U3 is 0, W3 is 0, U4 is 0, W4 is 0, and F1Z is 0, F2Z is 0, F3Z is 0, F4Z is 0. Now you substitute all that boundary condition in this equation. So now you got this particular equation. And in the displacement matrix, second, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all these values are 0. So hence, as per the Gaussian elimination method, eliminate the respective rows and columns. Second, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, these rows columns eliminate as per the Gaussian elimination. If you eliminate that particular one, the remaining matrix is the 10 to the power of 5 into 544.1 minus 147.1 minus 147.1 into 575.1 into U1 U2 is equal to 3141.6. 3141.6 is there. Now try to solve these two equations. I wrote the once again. This is a small one. That's why simply I wrote in the form of equations. So when I writing equations, 544.1 U1 minus 147.1 U2 is equal to into 10 to the power of 5 is there is equal to 3141.6. In the same manner, second equation also write down. Now solve these two equations. So I think solving of the two equations. If you solve the two equations, we will get U2 as the 7.4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 mm, and if you substitute this value in the first equation, you will get the U1 value as a 7.8 into 10 to the power of minus 5 mm. We got the finally displacement values. Like this, we will calculate the displacement. This is the another different type of problem by the help of stiffness matrix. Generally, in external examination point of view, they will ask that these type of models. All of you concentrate these type of models on axisymmetric element. My dear students, I am sequentially I am keeping my videos in YouTube. All of you better to subscribe my channel, and as well as if possible, if you like my videos, and please uh, click on like button. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Thank you.